Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 2 in the book of 2 Timothy. Today is going to be a doozy. I'm going to call this Firing Your Bazooka. Yesterday we talked about a faith of flames, and the word yesterday was fan into flames gifts of God. Grow in gifts of God. Use them and make them bigger and more effective. And today we're going to talk about a special gift, the gift of power. It's a gift to be fanned into flames. This is from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 6 and 7. And then as soon as we're done reading these two verses, we're going to talk about RPGs and bazookas. Here it is. For this reason, I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. So God has given us a spirit of power. All right, so let's talk about RPGs or bazookas. Bazooka is such a great name. It comes from a musical instrument that has pipes in it, and I think a bazooka kind of looks like it. So they named it a bazooka. One of the most notable things about it is it went from the drawing board to the battlefield, setting a world record in only 30 days in 1942 in World War II. All right, so what is it? It's an armor-piercing, anti-tank, shoulder-fired, precision-guided weapon that's been modified a million times since then. And now it's called a precision shoulder-fired rocket launcher. So what it is it shoots this grenade-like thing. It can shoot at a half a mile now, 850 meters, blow up a tank, blow up a helicopter. It is a feared and awesome weapon that an individual soldier can just carry around on his back. So to the passage today, that is the thing that is going to be fanned into flame, growing. He's given us not a spirit of fear, but of power. All right, so the first thing to be extinguished is fear. So God has given us not a spirit of fear. So a Christian knows who she is. She knows where she's been, the land of sin, and now that there's been salvation and rescue, and appreciates and knows where they're going to this next world. So we can have this confident trust in the future. So enough about fear. Let's talk about power today. So that's a Greek word that is dynamo, which is the same root that we get our word dynamite from. So this is a power that explodes. It's something that explodes. It's an explosive force. It's a capability that God has given us. So he's given us this power, this resource, sourced not of this world, sourced in God's world, but then he gives it to the purposes of God for use in this world. So when we go into battle, individual Christians, we go in with a bazooka, not just a rifle. That's the point of today's passage, is we have spiritual power that God gives us. Now, we get a kind of a glimpse into the things that God knocks down. He knocks down rebellion and sin and death and spiritual forces of evil. So what we have to do is connect with him, engage with him. He gave it to us for a reason. He's given us the capability and the power to use it and to participate with him, the wisdom to engage with him to the establishment and the expansion of his kingdom. That's what the fanning of the flames is. So the point is not that you never shoot your bazooka. The point is you shoot it with wisdom. It's to be shot wisely. So here's the big question. This is the one I really want you to think about, is what in your world could use an upgrade in your weaponry? What target might you work with God to exert his power upon? So what have you been plinking in this battlefield? What have you been plinking with your rifle when you have a bazooka on your back? You know, maybe it's salvation or something like that. We need to discern what piece of spiritual real estate requires more power. So here's the biggest question for today, and that is, if you knew that God's power could not fail, what would you shoot it at? And let's ask the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, help me here. What's that stubborn target? So maybe it's the salvation of somebody in your family, or the sanctification of someone in your near family, or somebody in your fellowship, or the yielding, the bowing of the knee. That's some of the hardest thing. Or maybe it's in yourself. Maybe it's self-control. Maybe it's your tongue or your zipper. or your mind or your attitude or your anger or your integrity or your entertainment choices or your addiction or your love. Or maybe it's something in your church. Now, I want to hesitate and say, I don't want to go too far away from what's important to you. I don't think this is world peace is not what we're shooting at here. This weapon, the bazooka analogy, is something that goes a half mile, 850 meters. You know, it's something around your world, something around your people, something around your house. So here's the thing is, I know that God is powerful. Every person in Christendom would agree that God is powerful. But this passage is saying is he is empowering us. He's given us power. It's a gift. It's sourced in him. It comes from him. He's given people his power. Well, why is that? It's to use. He wants us to fan this into flame. Essentially, he wants us to shoot our bazooka at a few things. So he wants to change the world. He wants his kingdom. We know that. We know he's given us power. And I'm pretty sure it's not just to carry a bazooka around through all the battles of our life, unfired, unappreciated, and unawares. So step one is let's take the bazooka off our back and put it where it belongs. It's a precision, shoulder-fired rocket launcher. Let's put it on our shoulder. And then let's open our eyes to the power. Lord, please quicken my heart to the target that you would have me exert this bazooka power for. What would you have me fire in prayer or fearlessness? What target have you identified for me to shoot this thing at? And then finally, number 3, Lord, help me fire my unfired bazooka. Show me what you want me to unleash my bazooka of power, this dynamo, this powerful things. What do you want me to do with your power? Let's go fire our bazookas today.